Okay, hello again. So if you've been following my channel for the last couple of weeks, you'll seen that I've been creating more books to show off. So what we've been working on at the moment is a maze book and a how to draw book that I've been demonstrating alongside the release of the new how to draw books generator software. So I wanted to use this video as a chance to continue with the plan, which is this here. So the book that I've created is still in review, but I expect this to go live on Amazon very, very soon. Upon that book going live, I'm going to open access to my bonus, where you're going to be able to follow my over-the-shoulder promotion of that book and a ton more. So I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video. So this is going to be a kind of mega rant video, but if you want like over 10 years of publishing experience condensed into a mega rant, then I think you should stay. So I don't want to make this video specific to how to draw books, but naturally when new software and new tools gather hype, concerns of saturation increase, and I wanted to share my thoughts on that throughout this video by using my own books as examples. And I've no desire to try and convince people to buy any kind of app or software because it's going to change your life, because that's not what I'm about. But the comments lately on some of my videos and other people's videos along the lines of, you know, these niches are now flooded, blah 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 blah, or similar things. Okay, so this happens every time new software is released, which is understandable, and that's because the fear of saturation is a real mental area that stops a lot of people from publishing in any niche. So in my opinion, it's not fair to suggest to anyone that if they upload a book into a new niche or if they buy certain software that they're going to be guaranteed to make sales, because it's just not true. But on the other side of the coin, we have the complete and utter myth about marketplaces becoming flooded and saturated. So I'm going to give you what I think is the complete reality before going deeper into this video. We worry about saturation and competition because we're operating in a domain where dreams are being sold to us. And granted, my channel kind of falls into this area just through virtue of existing. But the problem is we're always having this get rich quick side of KDP pushed at us from all angles all the time, which is used primarily to serve the person pushing it, obviously, which leads to the percentage of people who fail with KDP being extremely high. Now, that doesn't mean that a marketplace is saturated or too busy. It's just reflective of the nonsense that's being pushed. And I think at some point, all of us get lost in this world now where KDP isn't a business pursuit. It's just some sort of cash cow opportunity for people that don't want to work, or an area for entitled starving artists who feel that their efforts deserve sales just because. And the reality is that Amazon's marketplace doesn't care if you want to be rich. It doesn't care if you're an illustrator. It doesn't care if you spent 10 years writing a werewolf romance novel. It just doesn't care. It just exists as a marketplace. So I hate showing off sales figures, but I don't want there to be zero substance behind what I'm saying. But dropping that attitude of KDP being some sort of cash cow and focusing on the areas that really matter, you know, outside of software, outside of keywords and things like that, have changed my results to the point where last month I had over 6,000 sales from probably less than 30 books. And I've come close to this as well, where we get into this, we've just had it drilled in us that we need to be doing niching down, niching down, niching down, niching down, find the hot keywords, use the best apps that make books for us, and just missing out on what truly matters. So looping back to saturation concerns here, especially with the how to draw hype going on at the moment, the reality is that most people who create books have just been sold a dream. Now you pair that with the huge percentage of people that won't ever actually create a book, and then you pair that with the huge percentage who don't ever make a good book, and then you pair that with the percentage of people who aren't willing to market their book. And the reality is that you end up with most big niches on Amazon being accessible to those who are willing to learn the factors that really work, which is visibility to your product and serving the need of your audience, and of course marketing your book. And this is a hill that I am going to die on 100%. In fact, I'll get completely slaughtered on that hill. And it's weird because I don't know about you, but in the last sort of couple of years of being on YouTube, I've never really heard anyone have that much success with producing loads and loads of low quality, low content books with zero marketing in tiny niches. And I feel kind of sad when people are happy that they're making $20 a month from 5,000 books. And not because I don't want people to have any form of success. I think that's a great thing, but I just think most people will benefit from spending their time on better pursuits, like producing 500 books or 5,000 books for such a return. It sounds like having a full-time job where you're not getting paid a full-time wage, right? And pretty much all the people that I've spoken to who are making more than $500 a month, let's say with KDP, are focusing their efforts on understanding what book quality is, understanding their audience, getting into slightly bigger niches and marketing their books. And we don't do this because we're always being told to avoid competitive niches. And I've said this a million times. I would rather people lose money than time. And maybe that's a little bit of a shameful thing for me to say in a domain where people are always being ripped off. But I will never speak about, on my channel, I'm never going to speak about producing loads and loads of low content books ever again. Because I truly believe that you can spend your time much more wisely than that. So I showed off some other books during other software launches. So for example, I think it was maybe 8 months ago, there was the math worksheet stuff, and I created this addition and subtraction workbook. Now, there's nothing special about this, but nothing has happened to my sales. They've been pretty consistent. The front pages of Amazon for this keyword, they weren't flooded with the same book. The niche wasn't flooded. It didn't get saturated. It just doesn't happen like that. And, they said that's it. The niche is going to be saturated. All the previous books are going to lose all their sales. Where and when did that happen? It didn't, and it doesn't. Had this been the first year of KDP being a thing, then yeah, I'd probably agree that, this might have some effect to it, but it doesn't. And it just isn't. Everyone and their dog knows about this, but only a small percentage know how to work it well. And the goal for years now has been to learn how to compete in their niches, which is hardly any different to any other business that exists. And people act like these niches didn't exist before software comes out. These markets, they're already competitive. Like, software just allows more people the chance to enter into them. And if you think that a few hundred people buying an app is going to destroy a niche and flood Amazon, and every time someone logs onto Amazon all they're going to see is how to draw books and math worksheets, then I think you're mistaken as to how Amazon is actually working. And I think if that's the type of thing that holds you back from publishing in any niche, you should stop publishing, because I can't think of in niches in the low content and medium content area of Amazon where there's hardly any competition but tons of sales going to it. So I'll tell you what will happen regarding these type of software launches and people getting into different niches and things like that. A load of people are going to rush to produce a few books in this niche. Some people are going to make sales, but most people will miss out on the fundamentals to making sales. They'll never use the software again, and then probably complain that Amazon is saturated. The ones who are going to make sales would have implemented a strategy to launching their book and creating a great book. So the apps like this, they just allow people to create these great books. And for example, the math book that I created here, it's got a lot of great reviews, and pretty much all of it was made in the app in just a few days. Now, that's the purpose. That is the only purpose of these softwares, is to be able to create these type of content that you wouldn't have been able to create before. That is the only purpose. There's nothing magical about them. And I know it's very, very easy to get lost in the hype, but in my opinion, there should be zero reason to invest in something that you don't plan on using down the line. So for example, the maze book that I'm creating here, I got this app, it's from the same people. I think it was maybe over a year ago, and only now I'm actually getting around to creating another book. And trust me when I tell you that I will not waste my time, money and energy on something that I don't think has a chance of making me a return on that time, money and energy. So the reason why I'm creating the case study bonuses for anyone that buys the software through me during the launch is because I don't want people to get lost or demotivated after buying something, and I want to provide you with something that you can utilize in all of your projects going forward to give you the best chance possible of making sales. So let's just talk about the bonus very quickly that I'm offering during the launch period of the How to Draw Books generator, which is going to be ending at 11:59 Eastern time on the 3rd of April. So the bonus that I'm offering is going to be kind of a Facebook group boot camp case study. It's like a mixture of pretty much all of those things where I'm going to be doing over the shoulder stuff for when I release my new book. So you're going to be able to see me actually running ad campaigns, how I do that to the launching of my How to Draw book. Okay, so that's hopefully one of the most transparent things you could possibly ever see in this area of KDP. So that's just going to be a percentage of the bonus. What I'm currently working on is a full outsourcers guide, which is going to include things like building up your team, deciding who to actually hire, how to check that the images that they send you are legit, how to keep them happy, and basically just how to build a team. Okay, and on top of that, I've got a pretty special sort of bonus where I've hired my designer to create a PDF where they talk about the tips there. But they talk about tips for creating a great book cover. On top of that, we're going to be going into the usual sort of niche selection things, and then more on launching of books with ads. And there's going to be a very, very, very special bonus that I'm going to offer as well that I'm not going to talk about inside of any of these videos. So after the closing of the How to Draw Books Generator launch, which again is on the which is 11:59 p.m. on the 3rd of April Eastern Time, upon closing that, my life will then be dedicated completely to adding to this bonus basically for the next week or so. So we're going to have an absolute boatload of content that you're going to be getting inside of that bonus. This time the way that I'm doing things is that I will shut off access to this after the launch, so the only time that you're going to be able to get access is during the launch period, and then down the line this is something that I'm going to be building on and charging $197 for. So just to note here, this is the bonus that you're getting. It will be for any version of the software that you purchase, so that whatever the base version price is, $47 during launch, you're going to get all of my bonus for that, no matter which version of the software that you get. Okay, so if you want to check out more on what I've been talking about lately regarding my plan, so basically what we've done here, which we've been talking about in my previous videos, we've been talking about optimizing our content, so talking about ad spend and things like that. We've been talking about productivity, so different software that I've been using to increase productivity. And if I can zoom in, I can show you. So from there, we've been looking at, that was a bit too much, we've been looking at the launch plan, and all sorts of things. So if you want to check out any of these videos, just head over to my channel and you can check out the last sort of like 3 or 4 videos and see all these things here. But what we're looking at in this video was this pillar here, which was time wasting, which comes under the section, the section which is worrying and complaining basically about niches being saturated. Okay, so I think, you know, just to top everything off here, I think this is it is a real mental block. And if you're going to publish on Amazon, then you have to put it out of your mind that this is what I do when it comes to publishing all of my books now. I just look for books on Amazon that are selling well, and if the niche is proven to have traffic going to it, then I create books in it if I'm interested in the niche myself. Okay, so saturation is something that I think you just need to just get out of your head, because you're going to just drive yourself absolutely insane with it. Because, you know, for what it is, like, everything is saturated, but the big thing here is that you need to learn how to compete in these niches now. Anyway, that is it for this video. So hopefully tomorrow I'll have a video out, one last video on the How to Draw software, so some Q&A, just to clear up any concerns that people have had. If you have any more questions about the software, any of the books that I'm creating, any of the bonus stuff, or anything at all, yeah, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. And I'm sorry this video has been a little bit on the shorter side in comparison to my usual lengthy videos, but you know, I've got plenty more coming out this year that you're gonna love. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.